Welcome to story time. Quarantine mode, right? No. So today's story time, I haven't posted in, like a month or so. I've gotten really busy. I'm really sorry about that. Those of you that actually care. I was doing a ton of studying and a bunch of other stuff, and really worth it. It was basically I was living life like normal. However, I also wasn't really checking on my channel. Somebody did put a comment before. I do not remember the name. Sorry, it was on the hamster video. If you want to go back and check that out, you can. But they made the comment about how their hamster, they would even put rocks on top of the cage to keep it in and it still got out. I laughed because ours did the same thing. I had a zippered leather cover for a book that was really heavy. My hamster kept getting out, so I put that on top of it, and it ended up chewing the zipper off. No idea what happened to the zipper. Never did find out. But our hamsters would all the time escape. We watched it at one time just clung its claws to the top in the little holes and would move the little swivels over and try to get out that way. Hamsters are little Houdinis. They get out all the time. Another reason why they're an annoying pet. Cute, but annoying. And on to story time. We are shooting at a different location. As you can see, my Transformers and my Funko Pops off to the side. Today's story is called The Firework Fiasco. I'm young at this time. I was a little kid. And it was around 4th of July. But I only had one firework left because, of course, when you buy them, you light them off. You don't wait for the 4th of July. So I had one more firework left. And it was a lightning flasher. You can even Google these things. They still sell them all the time. They are little teeny cup-like fireworks that look like they're filled with cement. I always thought they looked like a tiny Reese's peanut butter cup, but gray, because they kind of do. We used to use them all the time to melt pennies because they're really hot and they're cool to watch flash. So I have one. And I'm sitting in bed thinking about lighting this one because I've got one in my hand and I've got a lighter in the other hand. And I keep flicking the lighter on and staring at the wick and this firework thinking, I want to light this firework. And you know when you're a kid and you have a lighter and a firework, you've got to do it. You want to go and do it. Problem was, it was the middle of the day, so you're not going to see much. But that didn't matter. I still really wanted to see this firework go off. So, I walk out into the hallway, and I notice that my brother's in his room. So I knock on his door, and I'm like, hey, want to go light the last firework on fire? And he goes, no, it's the middle of the day. And I said, yeah, but it's still fun. And so I'm flicking the lighter, and I'm like this far from the firework, and he goes, don't do that. I said, don't do what? And I keep flicking the lighter on. My brother goes, stop doing the lighter next to the firework. You're inside. And in my brain, I'm going, dude, they're inches apart. I'm not putting the wick in the flame, so we're good. You're paranoid. Whatever. And he goes, no, really, stop doing that. And I said, no. And so I start to walk away. He then comes out in the hallway and says, seriously, stop doing that. I don't want the house to catch on fire. This is the story of how our house burned down. Just kidding. That would be really bad. So I decide, in my wonderfully genius brain, because I don't know how heat works yet, I decide to hold the firework with the wick pointed like this and put the lighter under it like this. And I flip it on. Now, if you don't know how heat works, it rises. You don't have to have the firework in the flame, like I thought, to light a wick on fire. Yeah. So it's about like this. I light it on fire. It's about right here. And I'm giggling as my brother is screaming at me, no, don't do it. And I'm in the middle of saying, it's not going to... And the wick lights. And I panic. I'm panicking for two reasons. One, I'm watching this wick shoot off little sparks, and I'm really weird because I'm sitting on carpet, and I'm also in a basement, and I've got to go up the stairs. I'm not outside. Two, the wick's only about this long, and it is shrinking by the moment, and these are not long brand fuses. So I'm trying to figure out what I'm going to do. Now, you might say, hey, just pinch off the wick. You know, lick the fingers and put it on the wick. Two things. One, I wasn't smart enough to do that. Two, I wasn't going to sacrifice my fingers for that, but I just didn't think about it. Would have been a great idea. No, the only thought that comes into my genius mind is the stairs are right behind me and there's the door to the outside. If I can just get up those stairs fast enough before this thing lights on fire, I am good to go. So I, in a mad scramble, turn around and I book it up the stairs as fast as I possibly can. Now there's two doors on this. There's the inside door and then there's the security door. I'm praying that I can make it there in time. I get up to the stairs and just as I look down and I'm reaching for the door handle, I look down and the wick has just disappeared. And I think, oh crap, what am I going to do? Because the other hard part about this is, I don't know how hot the bottom of this firework is going to be. Pretty sure holding on to it, I'm going to lose a finger. Or my brain was thinking, hey, your fingers are going to melt off, your hand's going to burn, and you're going to catch fire. So I did the only thing that I can think to do. I looked down and realized the carpet has ended, now we have linoleum. Yeah, so I took it and I dumped it on top of the linoleum. And I wait a moment. And my brother's freaking out downstairs still going, what are you doing? And so I stopped and I looked, nothing else. So I very cautiously lift up, hoping that the firework has just gone out. And that there's not like a hole that's now been shot through the stairs or something. So I pick up the firework and notice two things. One, the firework has indeed stopped burning. Now it just looks like a dip in this cement stuff where whatever had been used. And my first thought was, I wonder if I can reuse this. Like if I put the lighter next to it, will it relight and finish off the firework? Because I don't want to waste a firework. The second thought that popped out in my mind, which was very much more important, was, well, what did I just do to the stairs? And I looked down, and about the size of a penny is a lovely black mark burned into the linoleum at the top of the stairs, where my mother is sure not to miss it. And my brother comes up and looks at the hole, looks back up at me and goes, what did you do? I said, I was trying to save, I didn't know it was going to light that. And then realizing that my mom was going to yell at me, I'm going to be grounded, I start to cry. I didn't know it was going to, I didn't, can you help me? What do I do with it? Can we fix it? Can you help me? And my brother looks and goes, you're on your own on this one, and walks away. Knowing full well that even if I say, hey, he was with me, he's going to throw me under the bus and say, no, I told him not to, and he still did it. So I've got no help in this. But I start thinking, like most kids do, how can I just cover this up? On this linoleum, since it was right next to the outside door, we also had a spare piece of carpet, which was kind of like a doormat inside. Once you come in, you wipe your feet off, and then you go on. And I thought to myself, you know the best way to deal with this? To cover it with that doormat. So I simply move the doormat over, maybe like half a foot, and cover it. And I think to myself, it's probably not going to last. I wonder what else I can do. Unfortunately for me, my attention span was also taken up by other things at that moment. Pretty sure I started thinking about cookies and went off to get one. But anyway, that's beside the point. So yeah, I burned a lovely hole in the linoleum, which, yes, my mother found out like the next day as somebody went to go move it. In fact, I'm pretty sure I was downstairs in my room playing a video game, and somebody came home, probably my younger brother, went to step on the floor mat and moved it, and went, Mom, there's a big burn mark in the floor! And as I'm hearing this, I was like, oh no, I should have told him to be quiet about it. Not that that would have helped me very much. And it's not like I could go upstairs and yell at him for it, because my parents are home. So, of course, my mom came over and looked at it and wondered what happened, and yeah, fun times after that. Now, it has been a while since I posted, so you get a double feature with fire. We had, and I do not even remember what kind of car this was, it was a long time ago, we had a sedan. And I remember sitting in the passenger seat of the sedan and going, I wonder what all these buttons are. Nobody was in the car besides me. So I'm touching all the radio buttons and everything else like that. Nothing's happening, which I didn't expect it to. And I look down and I see, this is obviously a long time ago because I don't really have this anymore. I see what looks like a button, but it also looks like a handle. So I go to grab it and I can spin it and it doesn't have a click. So I'm like, So I pull on it and it comes out. And before thinking, oh no, I broke this, I realize what this is. Now, kids nowadays probably have no idea what a cigarette lighter is. Back then, those little charging ports that were in the car as kids, you could push this in and it would heat up. The entire point of this is so that you could then have a smoke in the car, I guess. Whatever. So I realized, hey, wait, this is really cool. Now inside, these things had the little coils of metal. And I thought, I want to see what this looks like. So I put it back in and I pushed the button in. The entire point was you push them in, they stay for a little while, and then they pop out when they are red hot. So then you could light your cigarette or whatever else off of it. So, or fireworks. Yeah, that's exactly what it reminds me of. So I push it in and I wait and it pops out. So I then pull it out. And I'm sitting there inspecting this burning red hot metal and thinking, that's pretty cool. And so I blow on it to see what it'll do. Nothing really happens with it. So I give it some time, as I'm watching it, I'm noticing, as metal does, that the outside edges are slowly going gray and that it's cooling off. So I'm watching the color slowly shrink in here, and then it just disappears. I'm like, So I quickly tap it, and of course it's still really hot. I'm like, Well, I didn't think through thinking, well, the car just heated this up, so it's fine if I just put it back in. And in my mind, I'm thinking, I'm done with this. I don't want to play with this anymore, but it's really hot, and I don't want to put it back in there without being so hot. But I can't put it down because it's really warm, and I don't want to start a fire. But I want to go outside and play again. I don't want to be in the car anymore. What do I do to cool this off before I put it back in? Now, I wish I had thought about just putting it back in or maybe taking it outside with me and putting it on the ground. No, I didn't need to. Or even, many of you are probably thinking, just spit on it then. No. My genius brain was, hey look, there's carpet down there. The flooring of this fine vehicle. Let's go ahead and put it out on that. So I reached down, and I put it down on the carpet, right by on the floor mat, right by the middle. And I put it down, and I hear tss, and I'm like, oh, that must have put it out. So I pick it back up, and yeah, it's colder, not really too cold. But then I'm realizing, wait a second, that's carpet. And I look down, and there's a lovely burn spot. You seeing a trend here? Yeah. One day I finally learned. But, so I put it out, and I thought, oh, not again. Why did I just burn the carpet on this car? What am I going to do? Yeah, if you notice a trend in this, it's because my brain didn't really change much from the way I was thinking. I thought, wait a second. We didn't have the floor mats, so I couldn't just put that over it. But I thought to myself, what if I just cover this up yet again? So, looking around the car for whatever I could cover it up with, the only thing I can find is in the glove compartment. I find a packet of white tissues. Yeah, so I pulled one of those out and I laid it over the top because that is going to definitely hide a big black burn spot on the car flooring. By the way, Mom, if you are now watching this, yes, that's what happened to your carpet in the car. Sorry.